Well, you likely start your morning maybe with a cup of joe, even a hot cup of tea, but could it be affecting your health long term? A recent study suggests that hot drinks could cause cancer. Joining me now is Dr. Scott Ackerman, local oncologist. Good morning to you, doctor. It's always good to see you. Thanks for coming in. All right, let's talk about this study, because more needs to be done. But it's very interesting because there seemed to be some kind of correlation between hot drinks, not what you're drinking, but the temperature of the drink.
There's been lots of studies looking at the effects of cancer, effects of coffee and health over the years. And there have been lots of small studies, and they've looked at instances of certain kinds of cancer and whether coffee is good for memory and those sort of things. And we've talked about before, and we've heard that people think there's detrimental effects of coffee, but in fact, most studies show that coffee's been more helpful than harmful. So this recent study looked at put together all the studies that have been done over the past 10 or 20 years and looked at those studies and kind of looked through the data in the studies to see what sort of diseases could be correlated with coffee and tea and those sort of things, and found out that there was a correlation between an increased incidence of esophageal cancer and drinking hot coffee or hot tea. It's the temperature, not the coffee itself.
And why? Is it doing something to the lining then of the esophagus that could expose someone to an increased risk of cancer then?
Well, we look at lots of cancers at what we call the aerodigestive tract, and that's the tongue and the tonsils and the larynx and the esophagus as well. And we know that those cancers are more frequent in people that smoke or who drink. And we postulate that the reason that those cancers are more frequent in those people is because of the damage that the tobacco causes directly or the alcohol causes directly on the lining of the esophagus or the lining of the throat. We also know that esophageal cancer is increased incidence in people that drink lye, lye like for the drain. So kids, sometimes we see if a child, by accident, they have a higher risk of esophageal cancer when they're adults. So we extrapolate that to the hot drink thing and guess or postulate that it's the temperature of it that causes damage to the lining, a small burn perhaps, and the esophagus repairs itself, the lining repairs itself. We all have drunk hot things, and we felt this burn.
You realize it when you've done it.
Right, and so the esophagus repairs itself, and in that repairing, new cells are formed, new divisions are made, and once in a while, those divisions make a little mismatch, and there's something goes wrong, or our body can't check that, and that's probably how the etiology or the formation of the esophageal cancer.
So is there a way to determine how hot is hot? Because I think that those who are accustomed to heating their drinks up and making them hot may be used to drinking hot. So what is the,
So I was thinking about this morning. It's a good question. Like, how do you know it's too hot? In this study, what they looked at was the temperatures and found out that a temperature of 70 degrees Celsius, which is about 150 degrees Fahrenheit, above that, that's where the risk of esophageal cancer goes up.
That's hot.
Well, it's pretty hot. I don't know,
isn't
though.
It?
Well, 212 is boiling. Okay, we're not drinking boiling coffee or boiling water.
Or tea.
Or tea, right? Or some cultures drink something called mate. It's South American. They drink it very, very hot. So how do you know? I would suggest that you take a meat thermometer. You know, if you're curious, make a cup of coffee, whatever regular temperature, and see what temperature it is. Stick a meat thermometer, instant read meat thermometer. We all have one in our kitchen. We do,
sure.
And see what it is. So you want to drink it less than 150 degrees.
Okay, less than 150
and I don't know. I drink coffee fairly warm, but I don't think I'm over 150.
Right. Now we know to check, right? Thank you very much, Doug. Appreciate your insight. And, of course, for the latest health headlines and to watch this entire interview, you can do so later this morning on news4jax.com. Just look under the morning show page. All right, it's 17 minutes after 8 o'clock. Talk about hot. I don't know.